love my Vulcan at Barrett. I
All
got
right.
a Vulcan
We're
cake
live.
like from the 50s
So,
or 60s. Beautiful. Beautiful.
So here we are. Welcome back. Thank you everyone for watching the world premiere of Junior Hockey Juggernaut, Chasing the Dream. We've got one of our special guests here, Mark Lambert, who you saw in the video. Mark, again, from Mechanic Arts High School, onto the St. Paul Vulcans, onto the University of Minnesota, national champion. We're just so happy that he could stop down with us today. But we've also got Tim Correa. Talk about Vulcans, see the hat. He is a St. Paul Vulcan.
Real Vulcan.
Real Vulcan, winning Carnival. Tim and I went to high school together and just fellow East Siders. I'm so glad that he could stop down and join us today. And yeah, we're just kind of reminiscing about the East Side and hockey and sports. And
I think Tim should retell a story about how he became a Vulcan.
well, one thing I wanted
You shouldn't have gone live.
One thing I wanted to know is what is the relationship between the Winter Carnival Vulcans and the Vulcans from USHL?
Boy, I think when we were the junior stars and late that season, there was a sell-off. There was something got negotiated between the Thunder Bay Vulcans, we were the junior stars, not the Bloomington junior stars, just straight up junior stars. At some point, the Vulcans knew they were going to become the Flyers, and I think Ron Woody and Harry Sundberg thought this Vulcan name is kind of a good deal, and it kind of goes with the Winter Carnival Vulcans.
Right.
And I don't think the Winter Carnival Vulcans gave us any heat, and the logo is a little different because they're a great group and they're so the philanthropy that they do for City of St. Paul and match. I think that slid by, and the Vulcans were around for a long time after we got named the Vulcans at the end of the 73 season. I bet they played into the early 80s.
Yep, they did. I think the last year was 84, 85, I think.
And Stan Hubbard
Yeah.
supporting the operation, a great hockey person that he was to help keep the program going and build junior hockey. Yeah, he's kind of an unnoticed person that Hubbard really kept, as far as I know, behind the scenes, kind of kept the St. Paul Vulcans kicking there for 5-6 years, which kept junior hockey kicking.
Right.
And now, I mean,
Stan Jr., I mean, when I was in USHL in Omaha, playing the Vulcans, the first coach was Kevin Hartzell, who played for the Gophers. Kevin, we known each other for years, and he was the coach of the St. Paul Vulcans. Well, then Kevin left. He went, Mike Gensel came. Of course, Mike Gensel coached for the Gophers, in Omaha, a lot of different programs. So, we actually, in Omaha, we had made some trades with the Vulcans.
Yeah.
And it was kind of fun because I had a good relationship with the Vulcans. But Ron Woody was still involved. It was amazing. He was in his 80s, and I always loved talking with Ron, and but that history of that program, it's really kind of sad that there isn't a junior A team in the Twin Cities still. I mean, there isn't. I mean, the closest one is Sioux Falls or Fargo, but we don't have anything in the Twin Cities there. And that's kind of a sad story, sad state, because I think junior hockey, if you're in the right city and the right arena, you could probably support it. Now, you're not going to get rich off it. The Hubbards, they kind of bankrolled it a little bit and made sure it was around. But, I mean, there's a lot of kids in the Twin Cities that love to stay in the Twin Cities and play hockey for the Vulcans or a junior A team.
They go everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Maybe we got too much good high school hockey here.
Well, that's a good point. One of the things they're doing right now in Rochester, Minnesota, is I believe there's going to be a referendum that they're going to have to vote on. They're going to try to get a new civic center in Rochester that will have an ice plant and have another junior A team back in Rochester, Minnesota. I think it was supported. They had the Rochester Mustangs for years, and they did well. So, junior hockey, I love the fact that you got the North American League, you got the USHL, and kids getting opportunity to continue to play hockey at high school. And that's a big deal. You know, I mean, every kid has a dream to play longer than high school. And if they get a chance to play in junior A hockey, what a great experience. You're riding the bus with your buddies. You're playing different cities. People are throwing beer at you. But the billets, the relation, I mean, I'm telling you from experience, and you guys are a little bit different, Mark, from the Vulcans, because you have probably a billet program. The guys stayed at their homes, at their mom and dad's place.
We did.
But the billets become almost like their surrogate parents.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you one thing right now. You don't play their kid, or there's a problem with their kid.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. You open up that can of worms because the billet family's on your butt saying, hey, why isn't my kid playing? It's like, wait a minute, no, they become their parents almost.
Yeah.
So it was I had some kids that had some issues and some trouble one year, and I said, hey, they're going to sit for a couple games. Boy, oh boy, the dad of the family, the billet, well, he came right at me. He came at me after a game. He said, why isn't my kid playing? I said, your kid? I didn't know that you owned this kid. I said, no, you birthed this kid. And he goes, because they it's so wrapped up in those kids that and after playing junior hockey and they go play college, they follow to the college and watch them play college hockey. It's crazy, but it's interesting.
Yeah, that's so interesting. And I know the billets, Bob Nagel, the third, talked a little bit about that down in Sioux Falls, where that's really good. We got enough program.
We have enough kids right here where we could actually reinforce the St. Paul Vulcans, and the kids could bring home.
Yeah.
Would probably draw enough people. I know these money's involved now, and franchise owners want to make money, but maybe, but I don't know. That's right. But anyways, Lambs has got another stop. But I got to give a shout out to this man here, the St. Paul Vulcan. I see him holding a Ham's beer can.
East side, baby.
And you know what? Yes, sir. And what brings to mind Ham's beer is a couple of the original junior star players, Danny Melky and Jack Fippen, their fathers met at Ham's.
Oh, that's
Fippen's dad was from Roseville. Melky's dad was from East Side, Margaret Playground area. And they both loved hockey, and they both had these families with a couple of kids that could play. So the two dads got together, and apparently the word is they pulled in some kid players like Cat Conroy and Bob Young that later played with Bill. Ollie Zokin was the goalie, and they would play with Artie. I mean, Fip was the original junior player. He went to the U and won 2 national championships. And they got this little all-star team together, like a AAA team in a day. Mr. Melky and Mr. Pippen, and the talent on that team, it was Young, it was Conroy, it was Pippen, it was Melky, it was Ollie Bakken. The Yankees could rattle off the book for the rest of them. It was a Bantam team, or a VFW team, however you got it in there. And I guess they won big. They were kind of an outlaw team. But Pip has a picture of the team down in the man cave. It's a who's who on the Lower East Side. And it all became because Ronnie and Danny's dad, Bud, worked at Ham's Brewery.
I love it.
And my man here from Johnson, the Vault, is drinking Ham's.
There you go.
Something better.
It's a good
No kidding.
good segue. Then just to show that we're equal opportunity sports, not only hockey, but baseball too. Tim plays a lot of baseball, and I think maybe even still plays today. Can you talk a little bit about that as far as your baseball experience, the teams, and some of the championships you've been at?
Well, there's a couple teams. We've got a federal league that we've been playing in. It's a 35 and older. We've played on that for 20 years now. Early years, we were really good. We took a couple championships, and now we're just going on the second level championships, but that's pretty good. We also have a 50 and older league. Wow. So we have the St. Paul Senators is a 35 and older. We have Stillwater Stallions is a 50 and older.
That's great.
And then we have 60 and older. We call them pontoons and stuff, so. There's a lot of baseball out there for people who wanna play.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Usually a lot of people come back in their 50s because now their kids are gone.
Yeah.
They wanna play.
That's phenomenal that you're still playing. I was playing just my speed JMS hockey a few years ago, and going into the board real fast.
We love you, man. We appreciate you.
Lights off. Here, still get out there, Stu. Lambs, it sounds like you gotta hit the
Yeah,
dusty trail.
I do tonight.
Thank you so much for stopping
You
by.
bet. Thank you for all your work and what you and Jonesy are doing here, Paul.
Absolutely.
Lot of tape, lot of editing, but you know what? You're saving some hockey history, some St. Paul history of the early junior days, at least through my eye. You and Bobby got the next kind of wave covered, Bosco and you with what started happening, in the 80s, leading up into the 90s.
Yeah.
And now, like I say, it's a big business, to own a franchise in the United States.
Oh, yeah, it's like $3 million.
And just think how, and now,
3 million.
3 million. And, yeah.
We were
Think
coaches 25,000.
Think about that, guys my age.
Yeah.
$3 million for a junior A franchise. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Mark. Really appreciate it. Thanks.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
Thanks, Mark. Thank you.
I love those Johnson stories. And then Bickle, yeah, Johnny Bickle, he's a good guy.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining. Berkey, Carolyn, thank you for being on. Any questions that you've got for us before we wrap?
Yeah, when Billy Lawrence.
Well, one of the things we should say, Paul, is that the plan is to, continue to do deep dives into this,
Yes.
in different areas that are, obviously professional hockey, amateur hockey, refereeing, equipment, the changes in equipment.
You ever been in the?
We don't even recognize it. We look at it as a goaltender. I mean, we did that alumni thing years ago. I had to have the guy help me put it on because I don't know how to put it on anymore. Because it's changed so much.
Yeah.
But we're going to have a lot of fun with different segments of this hockey talk and thing. And we want some feedback. If there's some feedback that you guys have, we'd love to hear from you. We're going to be sending this out across the country. Hockey and business group, and a lot of folks out there. So we're excited about the future, and certainly, Paul and I, we really thoroughly enjoyed this, and we'll continue to enjoy it. We just have him and I, Paul's my best man, my wife. There's also, we have a kindred spirit about hockey, and we're excited about what we've got, and all the people that are around us, the people that are involved with this hockey talk, where it's gonna go, what's the direction. So we're gonna give it everything we can to really make it enjoyable to, for our viewing audience.
Absolutely, Jonesy.
Yeah.
And it's just been such a pleasure working with you, and looking forward to continuing this journey and seeing where it takes us, and hopefully we can continue to entertain and enlighten and educate and have fun in the process. Looks like we've got a question from William. Who do you guys have winning the cup this year? Great question, William. Boy, coming off last year with Vegas, kind of shocking the whole NHL and coming through. And several teams taking a deep run into it. And
New Jersey was a good hockey team last year. They made some acquisitions this summer. I think they're going to be a team that'll be certainly a group to watch. I like what some of the teams like LA is doing. The Kraken, or the Seattle Kraken were a big surprise last year. They went a long ways. Got a great coaching staff. They got a good organization. You know, and of course the Vegas Knights could they repeat. You know, they got a lot of players.
This guy who played
so,
for North.
you know, the beauty of hockey, and that's what I think that we love about it. Is, you know, when you look at the NHL,
This guy who played for North Star
it's
AC.
kind of across the board.
He was
Anybody can win the
sponsored by
Stanley
Nickel.
Cup, you know, because
You see,
a lot of teams make the playoffs. They get knocked. If you look at the St. Louis Blues a few years
So
ago,
I got
the St. Louis Blues are the worst team in hockey in January.
I
They're the worst team. They're the worst record. And they won the Stanley Cup.
Right?
So,
With
yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a real toss up. And,
I said, these are.
you know, one of the things I was very disappointed in this year was the NHL didn't have the Stanley Cup Finals on regular TV, like the ABC or NBC or whatever. Well, all the other major sports, football, basketball, baseball, they all have that final series of games on network TV. I don't know what the NHL is thinking, but guys, if you're listening to NHL guys, figure it out. Get the NHL on network TV during the Stanley Cup Finals.
Absolutely. Well, there you go, William. There's the take on, you know, what's in the cards for this year. I think I'm going to go with Toronto. They've been kind of heartbroken these last few seasons. I think Matthews is going to really come through and bring them over the line. So that's what I'm going with. And William says, "Go Jersey." So we know what Blue Jam is thinking.
This Saturday after Labor
Well,
Day,
thank you all for joining. Carolyn from the Berkeys is saying Minnesota Wild. You gotta love that hometown spirit. They'll win it. As one of these years, as Bob Nagley III said, all we need is a Stanley Cup.
That's right.
Here at St. Paul. So thank you everyone for joining. It's been a pleasure. We'll look forward to seeing you next episode.
Yeah, thank Tom Reed. Tom Reed, you know, Tom Reed's hockey restaurant here. Thank you so much, Tom, for having us. You know, he's opened up the door for us, and we really are grateful for that. It's a phenomenal setting for Hockey Talk, and, you know, with all the memorabilia and all the stuff around the building. It's really, really, really cool.
It really is. It's one of a kind place. And actually, before I sign off, I'm going to actually do a drive-through. Tom's here, and he said he'd like to share with us as far as his junior hockey experience. Played major juniors before, of course, went to Minnesota North Stars. So give me just a couple minutes, and I'll be right back. Jonesy's going to hold on to the
Sounds good, Paul. Well, he's on the proud to get Tom Reed on. And, you know, one of the things that we're really excited about bringing you is that this, you know, Paul and I talk about this human interest side of hockey. And I think one of the things that's exciting about it is that, you know, it's not just X's and O's. It's not just about video. It's not just about sticks and pucks and stuff. We were actually going to do a deep dive somewhere down the road about equipment. And how the equipment's changed for hockey. But, you know, we want people to, and we're going to be a family-oriented deal. You're not going to hear a bunch of vulgar language like some of the YouTube channels for hockey. It's not going to happen. We want the young boy, the young girl to be able to watch with mom and dad and enjoy it. We're not going to have poor language. It's not going to be a both in agreement with that.
You're kidding me.
You know, we want this to be a family-oriented type show, and something that kids will really enjoy watching. And some of the stuff we're going to come up with,
Terry was running
and how we're connecting with these different people, will be really, I think, very exciting. I mean, some of the things we'll do, you know, we might be very surprising to some of the presentations we do with you and our viewing audience, because there's a lot of opportunity out here to really do things differently. And expose the game of hockey. And, you know, hockey is growing in the United States. The same amount of kids and teams and programs now, it's actually a little bit more than Canada. So, you know, we're seeing a really tremendous growth in this game. You know, from Texas to Florida to Arizona to California, all over the country. You know, it's not just the northern climates that have been so predominant in ice hockey in the United States. Where, you know, college players, pro players, stuff. We got guys coming from Arizona and Texas, Florida that are playing
Or
in the NHL.
maybe
So
with
it's,
Lenny Blind,
it's
but now
active
you're
live
telling
around
me
this country.
he
It's
kept
just
walking
continue
all the
to grow.
way
And
with
we want to be a
his
part of
cup.
it. We're gonna bring things.
Oh
that
my
I think are
God,
really
he had
great.
it
So,
right, his stool right on the phone.
All right, thanks for hanging in there, folks. We got Tom Reed coming back in just a couple minutes here. And I got some feedback on the microphone. We need to improve that a little bit, so we will do that. But if you can give us just a few more minutes, we'll have Tom Reed, former Minnesota North Star, talking about his experience from Canada, playing junior hockey, and then joining the North Stars.
yeah, you know what, Paul? One of the things
Hey, I gotta run now for sure.
Okay,
Paul,
sounds good.
what a great friend. Jonesy, we'll see ya.
Sounds
See you,
good.
bud. Take care.
So, you know, it's fun to have these connections, the friendships. You know, one of the things I think Sean Podine brought up in his interview is he said lifelong friends through the sport of hockey. And I think Bob Motzko said the same thing. You know, the relationships that we develop in this game or in any sport, you know, those are the friendships that you have for life, because, you know, playing a sport together and interacting, it's really something that, you know, it's a special thing. It really is. And you learn about yourself, you learn about, you know, who you are, but you learn about your friends and other folks you're playing with and what they're all about. But, you know, those friendships, like Sean mentioned, and certainly Bob Motzko, they're lifelong. You know, I mean, look at you and I, we've been together for 40-some years.
Right.
I mean, it just tells you the relationships and the camaraderie and the sportsmanship and all the things that come into being involved with sports and how you develop those. And I kind of like it, Paul, to a little bit of like the military, where the military guys, you know, they're comrades for, you know, they're in the foxhole, they're in the trenches, they're in the sand, they're all over the place. You know, bombs are going off, and you know, and you really have a you know, special kindred spirit for those people in those situations. But I think there's a lot of similarities between the guys in sports and, you know, kind of going to battle on the ice or in the field or whatever. So we're going to have some fun, that's for sure.
That's for sure, Jonesy.
Where am I sitting?
Right here, Mr. Reed.
Oh, boy.
Right in the front.
Is good or bad?
Well, we are honored to have Tom Reed with us just for a couple minutes. He is going to just share with us a little bit about his junior hockey playing days back in Canada and how that propelled him into the NHL and the Minnesota North Stars, and just a wonderful, wonderful career. And just have to say, Tom, thank you so much for letting us host this episode of Hockey Talk Network at your fine Tom Reed Hockey City Pub here on West 7th in St. Paul, Minnesota. This is really the epicenter of hockey in St. Paul and in Minnesota, when you really excel and watch the Wild play. So, Tom, if you could just share with us a little bit about your junior hockey.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting because my goal was never to be in the National Hockey League, and this happened. I was very fortunate along the way, but I actually wanted to be a recreation director. That was my goal. And as I played hockey, starting junior ranks back in Canada, I was 8 years old when I started. And of course, worked up through the band and the midget and juvenile, and then got to play some junior games with Junior C, my hometown of Fort Erie, Ontario, was Great Bars in Buffalo, New York. And then the manager of our team there asked me if I'd be interested in going to a junior A camp. And in those days, the junior A camps were all sponsored by the National Hockey League. Boston Bruins, they had Oshawa, where Bob Diallo was from, of course, had Derek Sanders, Niagara Falls, that was Boston. Detroit had Hamilton, Peter Mahavich was there when I was playing against him. Toronto had a number of players with the Marlies that played against. The New York Rangers had the Kitchener Rangers, and my team in St. Catharines, Ontario, were the Blackhawks. And that's the route that Stan Mikita, Bobby Hull, you know, all these guys came through. And I was just kind of behind them a little bit, but I got a chance to break into the league in 1967. What's interesting is I was growing. I was a little bit smaller than my neighbors and my friends and so on, but we played hockey all the time. We played ball hockey in the summer. We played street hockey in the wintertime, sometimes just on the street. But we played all different sports, and I always encourage parents to let their kids let them have fun with it. So what do you want? This kid's gonna be a golfer, he's gonna be a football player, he's gonna be this. You don't know what he's going to be.
No.
Maybe he's gonna be a pianist. You
Yeah,
just don't know.
right.
And you let them go to the love that they like. They want to be, have a career like that. I had. But my first year, because I was growing, I actually had to wear padding on the inside my ankles because I would kick myself on the ankles because I was so uncoordinated. And the coach used to tape my hands to the hockey stick so I didn't have this with one hand. This is for practice, not games, thank goodness. And the second year was a little bit better than the third year. By the third year, things fell into place for me. I made the first All-Star team in the OHA that year with Brian Lenny. And it was a transition going from where I was as a kid in a small town of 9,000 people to also in the big city of Chicago. And as a rookie, and Paul Trebetch and I roomed together as juniors also in St. Catharines. We had a wonderful family there. We took three players in, and we built it there. We're making $30 a week. Of course, we paid 20 room and board.
Yeah.
And so we didn't get a lot of money. And then I can always remember, it's a funny story because when we were in Chicago for training camp, and I was expecting to go down, and I went down for a big 3 or 4 years. They brought me back up. But I was out with Sam Nikita and Chico Mackey out in Oakland, California.
Oh, wow.
And Sam Nikita says, how'd you win your contract, kid? And I said, really good. I said, you did? I said, yep. We didn't have agents. We had no idea.
Sure.
Back in those days. He said, well, how'd you do? I said, well, I did okay. So what did you sign for? I said, well, just driving next to Sam. He said, well, tell us, because it helps all of us.
Yeah, right.
So, okay, I can do that. And he said, I signed for $10,000. Wow. I said, really? First year? I said, yeah. Were you happy with that? I said, very much so. And the kid made $55.
Yeah, really?
And he said, well, that's great. He said, but that's the minimum. And I said, I don't care if it's the minimum or not. I'm going to ask hockey. If I play one game,
Yeah.
if I play just one game, I'll be happy. Unfortunately, I was able to play over 700 games in the regular season, and it's been great. I've made my home here in Minnesota. I have the
Yeah.
We do a lot of different events in here. People come in, they want to retirement parties, and they want to talk hockey, and so I did that. So I spent a lot of time here, and I'm still fortunate because I'm still employed by the Minnesota Wild, and still travel with the team wherever they go. I go flights. I was when I got out the game in 1978, I worked around the different organizations, whether you go for men or women in high school.
Yeah.
I did Michigan State for a while. So there's a lot I've done. So hockey's been very good game. Very blessed along the way.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, one thing that I like, Tom, is everybody loves Tom Reed because you're a good man. And, you've done the sport of hockey well, and you've always represented well. And I love to listen to. I'd rather listen to you on the radio than watch the game on TV because
You're one of the few.
Yeah, well, but I enjoy your comments, and and I love the commentary and stuff that you do because you've been through the game and you've seen the different stages of it, and we just love this building and this is like we said, hey, if you're in Minnesota, if you're not from Minnesota, you're coming to the Twin Cities, St. Paul, you need to come to Tom Reed's restaurant because if you're a hockey person, you love hockey. There's just a wealth of memorabilia and history here that's so fun.
Yeah, you see that because I've got over 500 items around the wall. The first picture, photograph ever, the first NHL All-Star team back in the 40s. Wow. Signed out of that picture from the 1960s. One from 1980. The movie Miracle.
Sure.
All signed by the players. The only player, unfortunately, didn't sign the Kirk Brooks.
Oh, really?
Passed away.
Oh, wow.
Car accident.
Yeah.
But you know what? It is a wealth of information on here. People just like to browse around. We were voted one of the top 30 hockey bars in the world. Now you're talking
That's cool.
Finland, and you're talking
Wow.
Russia, and you're talking Swedes. And
Yeah.
there's not a lot.
That's wonderful.
People are great.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you, Tom. Appreciate the hospitality we have here. We're this Hockey Talkin', this YouTube channel. Our goal is really to bring the human interest side of hockey. It's not just do X's and O's and video displays. Let's bring the human interest side because the people in hockey are very unique people, and they bring so much to the world, I think, because we love hockey. But, we're going to do some really cool things with amateur hockey and equipment and all the changes. And so we're going to have some fun with it.
And how about they announced that Natalie Gadowitz is going to be the general manager of the new team here in Minnesota.
Yes. I know.
We're texting back and forth today. She'll do a great job.
Oh, she's a wonderful one.
She wanted to sign me, but I said,
Oh, that's great,
Tom,
Tom. Thank you
much.
so much, Tom. Appreciate it.
Really appreciate it.
thank you. Thanks for coming in.
Oh, that's great. All right, I hope everybody enjoyed that. Tom Reed, incredible. What a fine man, and not a better ambassador for hockey anywhere. So thank you, William, for the awesome stuff comment, and really appreciate everyone hanging in there. I think we're going to go ahead and call this a wrap for tonight. And Jonesy, any parting
No, I
thoughts?
just, I really feel that we had a wonderful night and just talk, about the game and people. And that's what this Hockey Talk is all about. We don't care about who scored what or what video or, we talk about the people in this game. And that's what I think is so important and so special, because just right now, Tom Reed talking about his life in the game and what, like you said, an ambassador, but those are types of things that, that's not everyday stuff. And so we're going to bring some stuff to the table that we think that the viewing audience is going to really enjoy, because it's so special, it's so unique. And, I couldn't be happier to do it with a friend and a partner like you, and we're just really excited about it.
Awesome. Thanks, Joni. Tim Curran, aka Mouse. Anything to close with?
Everything's good.
He says everything's good, so
We like
that's a
that.
good thing. We like that. That's a wrap. Thanks, everyone. Have a great holiday weekend, and we will see you next time.
Cool.
That's a wrap.